If you are looking for a Prebuilt PC, NewEgg has some good discounts right now, so I will show you 3 different systems for 3 different budgets that are worth to buy. And if you don't know anything about computers, don't worry about it, because I will try to explain everything as simple as possible and explain to you what these systems are capable of running. Now, I've recently made a video about the best discounted PCs overall for Prebuilt PCs, so the gaming desktops I'm including today are only systems that I do recommend buying, because NewEgg has a ton of PCs that are on a discount, but only these 3 are actually worth the buy, even if you see my other video. However, the other video that I've made has a bunch of different systems, and I highly recommend you watching that one instead of this one, because you have plenty of options compared to this one. You will have that one in the top right of the screen, and you will have the links to all of these systems that I will mention today in the description of the video. That being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the cheapest one on the list for $690. It's on a $500 discount. We have the Acer Gaming Nitro 50 gaming desktop. Now, this is nothing too crazy, okay? It has the i5-12400F, which is a nice CPU, and the RTX 3050 alongside 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB of hard drive, and 500 gigs of SSD. This is a really nice PC for the price. However, it's not going to be the flashiest system out there, but it will get the job done for $690. This is a 1080p computer, so if you're thinking of playing 1080p 60 plus FPS on average in every single game, depending on the settings, I think this one is a great point to start with. And for esports titles, you will be able to run them at above 144 FPS at least, but it will depend on the settings that you want to play them at. So if you want a 1080p 144Hz monitor, you can buy one, and even a 240 if you play a game like CSGO or Valorant, low settings, this will be more than achievable. So for a cheap price, you're getting a great system overall. You don't need to upgrade anything really, because you get enough storage and enough RAM for gaming. And like I said, a really decent system for 1080p 60 plus FPS on average, high settings, most titles. With the next one, and my favorite on this list, we have the Skytech Shadow PC. This one has the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X and the RTX 4060 Ti. You get 1 TB of NVMe SSD and 16 gigs of RAM alongside a 600 watt 80 plus volt power supply. And on this system, you get that front mesh panel. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it has way better airflow than the last system. Yes, this one is quite more expensive at $1,080, but if you have around $1,000, I think this one is actually a great choice. The 4060 Ti is a 1080p high-end GPU, but you can also play at 1440p. Now, if you want to play at 1440p, a game like Hogwarts Legacy on ultra settings is not going to be ideal because of the VRAM. You get 8 gigs of VRAM on the RTX 4060 Ti, but if you lower the graphic settings to medium or high, you will have no issues with this. Also, at 1080p, there's no game that you can't run on the ultra settings, even a game like Flight Simulator, which is really hard to run. And for 1440p, you can run almost every single game on the ultra settings, just not the latest AAA titles, because like I said before, you get 8 gigs of VRAM, which has its limitations, but it's not going to be an issue, especially if you play popular titles like GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and all these type of games. And even for 1440p, you can run esports titles at high FPS, so you can buy a high refresh rate 1440p monitor as well. Like I said before, this is in my opinion the best PC on this list because of the price to performance that you get. And one thing to keep in mind is that depending on the game, you can also play at 4K. Now, it's not going to be ideal for most titles, but there are some games that you can run at 4K with no issues. That being said, if you have a TV that you want to connect to your PC and play with your friends, let's say a game like NBA 2K or FIFA 23 or all these type of games, even on ultra settings, 4K will be more than playable and you will get an amazing experience. Considering the price is around $1,080, it's a really nice option. And with the most expensive one on this list, we have the $1,900 Cyberpower PC. This one has the i7 13700K, which is the best CPU so far on this list, and the RTX 4070 Ti, which is the best GPU so far on this list. With the 4070 Ti, you can play at 1440p ultra settings, and you can also play at 4K. It's going to give you a much higher FPS average than the RTX 4060 Ti, and I'm talking about around a 46% increase on performance. That's quite a lot. I currently have my 4070 Ti on my system. You will have my video about the 4070 Ti benchmarks in different titles for you to see what you can expect at 1440p on different games. But long story short, there's no game that you can't run at 1440p ultra settings, 60 plus FPS on average, even the high demanding titles. And at 4K resolution, it will depend on the game, but trust me, 60 plus FPS on average at 4K is really achievable with this system. But at the end, the price is $1,900, so it's not cheap, but if you have the budget to, it's actually a nice option to have out there. However, if you have a bit of extra money or you have less money, there are a bunch of budgets that I haven't covered on this video because of what I said before. I have a full video talking about different deals from different websites and PC companies, so I highly recommend you watching that one if you want the best discounted PC for you. And if you have any questions about these systems, let me know in the comment section. I will try to reply as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.